Am I a fraud? So Casey Neistat asked this question about himself after posting videos on his vlog 800 days in a row. So the way he poses this question is it him exploiting himself and then being left with nothing? It's interesting because he started that when he was much younger, and I'm much older when I'm starting it. And I guess since I was about 25, I've never really had direction. I never really knew what I wanted to do. But when I started making videos, that changed. And the fact that I'm now going to vlog about moving from Saskatoon to Spain to teach English and make a story out of it, I don't know, it just seems like I have direction. So am I exploiting myself, leaving nothing personal? Well, there's still something personal. I'm not sharing every intimate detail about my life. I'm just sharing the story about how I'm going to vlog about becoming a TESL teacher and moving to Spain to do it. Now, everything along the way can change. I could fail the course. Hopefully that's not the case. I could also not end up going to Spain. I could go to a totally different country. Right now, because of my past, I feel like teaching business English might be the niche that I need to focus on when I get started. But I had gone back to school to teach kids, so maybe specialize in that. Also, I have taken some courses, some entrance exams, and so helping people to do online courses or helping people do entrance exams in English when it's not their first language could also be a possibility. So by doing a vlog about it, it's just sharing the experience in my mind. And no, I don't think Casey's a fraud. He might think he's a fraud, but I feel like it's just a story. One of the things about vlogging is you have to overcome talking to a device as if you're talking to a bunch of people. And the other thing I haven't overcome yet is to do that while you're in front of other people who you're not talking to. That is a tough one. So, is it something that really just you do to fake it? I don't think so. I think if someone like Casey can go and do this in New York City in front of a bunch of people, I think he's trying to express himself. And maybe by using his own everyday activities as a way to do that, that's his voice. I mean, people have been making movies for many years now. Stories have been passed down in all kinds of cultures around the world. I think stories are just part of us. It's part of human nature to want to tell a story. Some people don't like to do it at all. Some people love doing it. Some people just don't have a way to do it. So YouTubing and vlogging gives a lot of people a voice to do something that probably is part of our nature. So Casey also says something about exploiting himself to be this vlogger. And it's interesting because, you know, when you listen to people talk about champions, sports teams especially, they talk about how much you have to give. You have to give your all. You have to go out there and play with your team and sacrifice everything for the win. And if it's an individual sport, it's the exact same thing. That is your life. That's what you do. So if you're going to be a vlogger and you're sharing your own experiences, is that really something that you should call yourself a fraud for? I think if you're giving your all to achieve something, that's kind of how it works. Now, comparing a vlogger to a world-class athlete, probably a little bit of a stretch. It's the same idea. If you want to succeed at something, you have to go all in. And the percentage of people that succeed is very small, right? I just finished watching the Stanley Cup, and out of all the teams, one wins. Out of all the players that have played in the NHL, not very many get to win the cup. And out of all the people that have played hockey in their lives, very few even make it to the NHL. But many of those people gave their all at whatever level they were at. And if I want to vlog my experience of becoming an English teacher, ESL teacher, I have to just go out there and put it all out there. I can't really worry about the other stuff. And I think that's what Casey did until the end, where he said that kind of took over. And it's too bad because I find his videos somewhat inspirational. What is it that I'm trying to accomplish with my vlogging? I think to answer that question, I also need to know what the whole story is. And the vlogging is just really part of it. So I like making videos. I figured that over the last 3 years. I also like the whole process, like editing, creating it, and kind of making that story kind of be molded and shaped a bit. This is all kind of part of the package. But my vlogging is now part of my overall goal. It's not just the only thing I'm doing. It's part of my story of moving, starting over with a new life, starting a new career, going to a different country, the fears of possible failure. And it's somewhat a metaphor for that whole situation, because there's lots of fears and things to overcome with vlogging, like talking to a camera, talking in front of people, exposing yourself to ridicule, comparison. Not only are other people comparing me to other vloggers and deciding whether they want to watch me, I'm also doing it. I watch Casey and go, wow, that's really good. How do I do something that's just as compelling and gets people to watch? So if people watch my vlog, I could make money because YouTube pays you per view once you're monetized, and I'm not monetized yet, so that's not even really a problem. But that would help pay for things like cameras and whatever else you need to do the vlogging. But it also helps expose the idea that I want to become an ESL teacher, and specifically in Spain. So that's, I guess, part of it. So it could be part of my business. Lots of people use YouTube to expose their business. So my business could have future benefit from it. It may get nothing. I may not get any viewers. So it could just be a waste of time if it was just for business. But for vlogging itself, I find it interesting. Doing videos, editing, I find all that interesting. So the purpose is really maybe self-therapy. It gives me a voice, and it also gives me a creative outlet to do things and try things. I gotta catch my bus. So I don't look at firemen and firewomen, police officers, teachers as being hypocritical when they want to get paid for their jobs. We look at them with a high degree of reverence because of what they've chosen to do, but they still get paid. Now, vlogging may not be as, heroic, but I think, for Casey Neistat to expose himself to the world takes a lot of courage. I find it difficult some days at my age to kind of start doing that. Now, I don't think it's necessarily heroic, but it still takes... It takes a little effort to kind of push yourself to do that. And to want to get paid for it, I think you have to, because we live in a capitalist society, and if you don't have money, well, you're homeless. So getting paid to vlog also is basically you put yourself out there and nobody's offering you a paycheck. You just take what you get given. So if you're monetized, you're essentially making the video, you're producing the video, you're putting it out there and waiting to see who watches it, who rejects it. You don't see who it is, but it says 1,000 people clicked on your video. Out of those 1,000 people, 10 people watched it. Out of those 10 people, 2 people watched it all the way through. Ouch. So, you're getting a lot of rejection with no guarantee of pay. You're getting a lot of effort, input, with no guarantee of any output. There's nothing necessarily coming back to you. And in my case, I'm not even monetized yet. I don't really know. I just don't think Casey needs to feel guilty about using his personal story for whatever reason he feels guilty. I personally don't, and I think sharing with people is a good thing. So obviously, vlogging doesn't have the same reverence as firefighting or policing or teaching. In the end, it's something I enjoy. And I think everybody in a profession that they do their entire lives enjoys it. My mother told me that she was very happy she became a nurse. And she enjoyed it. She enjoyed doing it. So, does it take away from the fact that she got paid to do it? I mean, I don't think so. I think everybody at some point needs to get paid for what they do. I mean, some people do hobbies and don't get paid for it, but they have another job. Well, vlogging takes a lot of time, and I'm not expecting to get millions of viewers and get paid thousands of dollars every month. But if I got paid enough to buy a new camera, that'd be all right. So what does me vlogging have to do with going to Spain? What does me vlogging have to do with teaching English? What does me vlogging mean to anything? Okay, it doesn't need to be that deep. It's just something I like to do. I like to make videos. I like to tell a story. And yeah, I even like editing some days, not all the time. But it's interesting how it changes the editing shapes the video, and it changes the kind of flow, the feel of it. So when I'm talking and I'm kind of humming and hawing and it's kind of slow and drawn out, and I do some cuts, and all of a sudden it's like, it's me talking really fast and me having really fluid ideas, but they're not always so fluid, and they're not always, so great that I can just leave them in there naturally. So editing does a lot, and I like that whole experience. Combining it with moving and talking about my experience and making it a vlog is just a bonus. What else does it do? Well, I feel like it does a lot. Vlogging about it makes it a little bit more real, and it kind of sets it up so I kind of have to keep pushing forward, right? Because to do a new vlog, to have a new story, I got to do something new. And I don't have a story, and I don't really have a moving to Spain vlog if I don't keep pursuing it. So it gives me kind of that direction. It gives me just that little bit of a push and that urgency to kind of do the next step. Whereas moving to Spain, there could be lots of things that get in the way, money being one of them, and just that, that whole thing to move. Like, I'm always so in awe of people who are moving to Canada, and they just uproot their lives and they move because there's opportunity here. And that's just always amazed me. I'm just like, that's awesome. You left and you pursued something you wanted to do. And that's me moving to Spain. The more I think about this whole vlogging idea that, Casey said, is he a fraud? Is he exploiting himself for, whatever it is that he was trying to do? I think back to when I was younger and some of the things that I did that I ended up liking. So figure skating was something I did, and it was a way to express myself. And I think that's really kind of one of the things that attracted me to the sport. I played piano, and I got to express myself through music. And I often went into my lessons with my music teacher, and I'd tell my music teacher how I think the song should be played. And, simply when you're doing stuff like that, and you're telling somebody with more experience, more talent, more training, how it should be done, you're just looking for a venue for yourself. And when you play a piano piece at a festival, it's you doing it, so you get to ultimately decide. But it was a self-expression. And so vlogging allows me to have that self-expression. Now, am I exploiting it? I think maybe to some degree, but it's not really about exploiting it. It's about
telling a story. So coming back to vlogging in itself, if I was just doing that to make money, then yeah, I think that's fraud, a self-fraud. And I understand what that's about, because when I first started YouTubing, I just wanted to make some money. So I wanted to do whatever I thought would be to make money. But then I ran into some videos that said, this could be more. This could be entertainment. This could be, a way of expressing yourself. And so that changed the whole outlook for me. A simple change in perspective, I think, does it. So if I'm making videos right now that are, I think, reasonable, in the sense that I'm doing it to express myself, the monetary benefit or the other benefits that come along with it, they kind of, I think that they don't make you fraudulent, right? I think the thing with YouTube is people who use AI to write their scripts and then make their videos, they're not really expressing their true selves. So they're not vlogging. They're essentially just trying to use whatever ideas they can to make money. And I'm not going to pass judgment on that, but I think for someone vlogging, I think it's coming from a totally different place. And if you didn't like doing it and you didn't want to create something, you wouldn't do it for very long. So if I'm not doing this a year from now, then I probably somewhere along the line realized it's not really what I wanted to do. But right now, it is.